new wrinkle, Russ. We haven't talked about any sort of Asian, other than Mexican, quote unquote, crossing the border. And that's something that I didn't even think about.
I'm curious from the operational side. So Border Patrol, they always show that Border Patrol vehicle driving, doing a patrol whenever they do a news story. How many guys are in a car, guys and girls, and how far away is backup when they encounter somebody out there?
So, our manpower, we've been trying to hire people as much as we can. There's a congressional mandate floor of 21,370 agents. For the past 3-4 years, we've been under that congressional mandate, and we have not been able to hire fast enough under the Obama administration. We are hoping that things now change under the Trump administration, and that we can actually get our agents. So on a routine day, our agents go out there. They go patrol the border by themselves. It's very rare when our agents are paired up with somebody. And the reason that we're not paired up is because if we're in one person per vehicle, we get to cover more border, and that backup sometimes is 20, 30 minutes away, depending on the area that you might be patrolling. So
that's an eternity.
Oh yeah. So when you think that the job as a border patrol agent, it's not a job like a police department in a major city. You're not talking about blocks. You're not talking about city blocks. You're talking about being in the middle of the desert, and private ranches, you name it. It's a very, very unique law enforcement job.
And it's a very dangerous law enforcement job. Just by going on your website, I saw that you recently lost an agent in May due to an attack that happened. Talk a little bit about the action, besides the isolation and the danger that presents. Talk about the interactions with the suspects that you encounter, and how much more of an unknown it is compared to like an urban setting for law enforcement.
Again, border patrol agents, we deal with people from all over the world. We arrest people that have good moral character that are coming across the border, but we deal with those very dangerous criminals as well from all over the world. Now, what's very important to note is that right across our border in Mexico, we have some of the deadliest and most crazy drug cartels operating. I'm out of the Laredo sector in Laredo, Texas. That's the U.S. side. Across the border, we have Nuevo Laredo, Mexico. That is the headquarters of the Zetas drug cartel. Those Zetas drug cartels are one of the meanest and most dangerous cartels out there. Their tactics are similar to ISIS. They behead people, they dismember bodies, they throw them in the middle of the roads, they hang them on the off of bridges, and those are very dangerous. Unfortunately, the media does not carry those stories, but those drug cartels are alive and well, and those cartels actually become our daily customers for us as Border Patrol agents. Those are the same people that are conducting the smuggling operations along the border. Those are the people that are smuggling the dope across.
It's absolutely unreal.
Yeah, I was stationed in Texas for 3 years at Fort Hood, and we used to go to Nuevo Laredo on the weekends. This was in the 90s. And, as you were speaking, I was writing the word beheadings down because I remember reading about this recently and thinking, wow, when I was younger, I can't believe I was hanging out in that place. It really went downhill quick. The question I do want to ask, so especially being so high up in the union, you're the ideal person to ask this. Technology versus more agents. Where's the union stand? I know both are important. But I feel like today more people are like, well, we could use virtual fencing and drones, but does it replace the boots on the ground? I feel like more boots on the ground, you can't lose.
So there's got to be a good balance of technology and manpower. I would say maybe about 7-8 years ago, we started getting those camera towers in the Laredo sector. Those camera towers would record and would capture a whole bunch of smuggling activities. We would see 10, 12 people coming from the Mexican side onto the U.S. side, carrying large bundles of drugs, and we couldn't do anything except call out the description of the vehicle. But those people would get away because we didn't have manpower to respond to those areas. So definitely there's got to be a mixture of manpower and technology. You'd be surprised, but the technology in the Laredo sector that we have is extremely old. So if you can kind of paint a picture in your mind, along the border we have different camera towers, right? And those camera towers are there to kind of to conduct surveillance on the border and be able to capture any illegal entries. That technology on those cameras are from the early 90s. Why is it that we're operating with old technology? Why is it that we can't have as Border Patrol agents technology that's up to date? And that becomes very frustrating because for us, that's life and death. If we don't have eyes in the sky, our agents are more susceptible to risk. So it's got to be a balance, manpower and technology.
From the 90s, Russ. I was in junior high school. That's crazy. That's absolutely nuts. I don't get why resources don't make it to the border at all.
You were in high school in the 90s. Who are you fooling?
Oh, no. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, okay.
1992, I graduated from Shellbank Junior High, all right? Chill out. There were some 90s in there when I was much younger. Don't mind him. He does this to me all the time. So, Hector, as we leave FAIR and we continue the discussion forward, what is it that it should be number one priority that must happen this year to make your job easier?
So first and foremost, we need to make sure that the Trump administration does not promote Obama holdovers within DHS, CBP, and Border Patrol. If those Obama holdovers remain in the agency, nothing is going to change. And it's very important. It's very important for Secretary Carey to make sure that he goes out there and he promotes those leaders that have the same ideas as President Trump. But the problem that we're seeing right now is that a lot of those Obama holdovers are the ones that are getting promoted. The same administrators, same managers that were responsible for killing morale, and the same managers that were responsible for implementing catch and release are being promoted. And I think that's something that's very important for us to know. We have to make sure that those Obama holdovers don't take over the agency, and make sure that the administration makes it very clear what needs to be happening on the border, that our Border Patrol agents receive the resources that they need, and that the American public continues to be informed on these matters.
It's the deep state all over again, Russ.
Listen, it's a problem in every one of the
It's insidious in every agency.
The bureaucracy. It's like you said, you cut off the head, but those guys at mid-level management, what a problem.
Listen, I'm going to let you get the last question here, but I want to make sure everybody goes and checks out bpunion.org, the website for the National Border Patrol Council. It's a great website with a lot of great information. It's also where you can listen to the Green Line, right?
Yeah, that's right. You can listen to the Green Line radio show, and you guys will be very, very pleasantly surprised that it's a good show. It provides very good information as well.
We're doing nothing but plugging the competition, Russ. I don't get it. Well, listen, we're all in the same fight together here.
There's plenty to go around.
I'm going to let you get the last question here, and then we got to let Hector go.
What's the stance on the wall? What's the union think about the wall?
So as a council, what we believe the wall is that we don't believe that there should be a wall along the entire stretch of the border. That wall needs to be placed in strategic locations, and we feel that wall should be placed in areas, for example, like Laredo, in the Laredo sector. In Laredo, we have a river that divides both countries. A lot of our local politicians, they don't want a wall, and they say that we already have a natural barrier. But in all reality, that natural barrier does not stop anybody. People walk across that river like nothing. So we need to make sure that we place the wall in strategic locations, areas where there's high illegal activity, high drug smuggling, high human smuggling, to be able to curb that trend. We need to make sure that we place the wall in the areas where these deadly cartels operate. We need to stop their business, and the only way to stop their business is by building a wall and investing in manpower and technology. That's the most important thing.
And there you have it, folks. There's your path forward.
Listen, you're doing God's work. Stay safe,
right.
Please, and message that out to your people. Yeah, I can't imagine being in a place where you're dealing with some dangerous people and your backup could be potentially 20
one against
25 minutes
all.
away.
It's one against all. It's
Unreal.
amazing. The work you're doing is amazing, Hector. God bless, and good luck to you and your brothers. That's it for part 1. Part 2 next week. Until then, good night, folks. Our position's been compromised. It's time to roll out. Report for debriefing at www.behindenemylinesradio.us and look for regular communications via Facebook and Twitter at BEL_radio. You are the resistance. Behind Enemy Lines. A Rock Radio production. Back in 7 days. Out.